Good morning. I'm Mike Shoup from gorgeous Grand Island, New York. The school year just began today. As such, it's time to lower the curtain on best ball summer. What a ride. Our heroes, Pat Kerrane, Davis Maddock, Jacob Sanderson, are all in position today. The team that brought you and inspired so much smooth, slappy, sealy, even musical goodness this summer. Let's go. The preseason finale, I suppose. ADP Chasing, September 2nd, 2025.
ADP Chasing is for when you watch Ship Chasing, you go, these guys are just football guys.
I have my 4% exposure blanket.
Stay poor.
Actually back in if it's Ashane.
Stare into our crystal ball. Close your eyes, All your entries are going to lose anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're not going to tell me how this went. I was here.
It's anti-cabal. It's the best ball thought leaders. I'm obviously lying to some degree because, I have a lot of both of these guys.
It's the most disgusting pick you can make. But, man.
Apologies for the slightly late start. I assume, Pat, maybe at least in your case, it's really the emotions we're all feeling today with this being the end of our, again, preseason content as a team.
Well, I was feeling the emotion of sleep for a while, and then I also I had to get our baby was up for 3 hours overnight, which was not fortunately something I personally dealt with, but I then had to kind of get things sorted before I started here, make sure that everything was communicated to our nanny who just arrived, that she needs to sleep.
So you're not sitting in the outfield at Wrigley right now, by the looks of it?
No.
So it could be that.
We also have some guests over. So the room that I normally record in doubles as our guest room. So I'm outside. I'm on our deck.
Nice.
It's not as big as Kenny Carter's deck.
That is the most. That's the most attractive background imaginable. You know what this reminds me of is, you remember No More Parties? Noah Hills used to always podcast in your plants. He was the running back guy that went away when he went to law school. Kind of did the opposite of what I did. That's sort of the vibe I'm getting from your Wrigley Field setup here.
I know.
What happened to the shed, Pat? What happened to you told me you had these grand plans for turning the shed into your workspace.
So no, the shed is the workspace. So I'll show you the shed. The shed's right there.
Here we go.
That's the shed. That's storage, and then that part's where I work. And
do you have palm trees in your backyard?
Yes.
Palm tree. That's a peach tree.
Behind, I see it too.
One up above.
Oh
the shed?
yeah. No, those are across the street, but yeah.
Someone else has that.
Trees are also fucking sick. What?
Yeah. the peach tree came in hot and heavy. It was there's no peaches. There's more peaches than you possibly eat. Get them off the tree or they'll rot.
Wow.
It was
so jealous.
Yeah, it was
at San Diego.
I can have my little way. I'd eat peaches every day.
Didn't take long for the music cherry to be broken. Pat in San Diego, Jacob in Winnipeg, Davis in St. Louis, and myself, Mike, in an actual NFL city. Buffalo.
To answer Davis's question though about the shed, it just looks like I've been kidnapped if I'm in there. It's not. I need a lighting. You can see there's very little light and it's all dark. So the vibe is quite different than this.
If you send me the specs and stuff, would you like me to help you get what you need for a studio in there?
I mean, yeah, that sounds nice.
Okay.
Leone underwent that transformation. Remember a couple of years ago, he was sort of at wit's end with his spot, and now he's right as rain.
I believe Established to Run literally paid someone to come to Silva's residence and be like, okay, this is what an Ethernet is. This is what a light is, Evan.
And it paid off. Yeah.
I officially do not endorse the continuation of the publicity of this photo.
Oh my God.
They nailed it.
They nailed
it. Don't ever eat on a stream, I guess.
No.
Who's Crack Rock to blast this guy? I mean,
you do make a great point, Mike. You make a great point.
Who is he to blast this guy?
Who is Crack Rock to blast Evan Silva? You're asking the tough questions and you're answering.
I'm a fan of his, and of course we all enjoy that stream. He did call me Schlep. But, close enough. Shoup adjacent.
Mike Schlep.
He tried to get into our draft, but, he was sort of pinned to the mat at that point. Davis, what do you have left? I would like to know from each of you guys. I mean, the the contests are still open, so we're not completely to the end.
Oh, I have about 35 puppies remaining. I will be drafting in the Best Ball Millionaire Maker contest on DraftKings.com over the course of this program. Shout out to the sidekick. And I honestly, I have some credits on Real Time Sports that it's easy. It's easy to run out of time to draft high stakes fantasy football teams when you forget you have site credits. So I was maybe gonna do some try and stream some drafts there tomorrow, but I honestly, I mean, I'd like to get another 100 teams in the next 48 hours. Would be nice. We'll see.
I mean, there's something, Jacob, for me anyway, like so satisfying when you are drafting these slow drafts and they're just completely just always hammering you, and then you see that double check mark on underdog. And it's like, team full. It's a magical, there's a relief there. Team full.
I've been pissed. I have one BBM that is not yet finished yet. And I made my final pick of the draft last night. And then ever since, I've just been refreshing to see when the double check mark changes to a draft is over experience. Just so I can post my final 150 exposures. And I've just been waiting on these guys, just milking the clock. But it's over now. So we'll find out where the chips fall. I think that my most drafted player in Best Ball Mania, Michael Pittman Jr.
Oh, whoa!
Wow. Oh, and I'm the boomer. Good. And I'm the
doesn't
boomer.
Feel good.
Everyone should say their most drafted player in Best Ball.
I guess this makes it less surprising that you want to start Nick Chubb on our main event team in week 1.
Oh my God! Hey, my second most drafted player is Josh Downs, so I guess I'm just a homer this year.
All right,
mine is Tootin easily, 36% easily.
Mine's Tootin as well.
All right.
I'm not done yet though. I think I've got 8 left, so I'm going to be doing those today. I'm going to be doing the DK Millie today. I'd probably do a couple 555s as well. I was in a couple of those yesterday.
My most drafted player
maybe
is
some puppies.
Tootin.
Is it really?
Yes.
Wow.
Let's go.
You guys all have
Tootin.
The echo chamber.
Fucking ARF right there.
That's right. What an echo chamber.
All right. Guess
Jacob,
Guess the number 2 player.
Xavier Worthy.
It's not Marvin Mims. We learned recently on an episode of this show.
Worthy is 3. It's Shaheed. Shaheed is number 2.
Oh, good call.
Wait, didn't you only have like 16% of Shaheed? Your number 2 exposure is 16%.
22.0%.
Oh wow. Okay. Tootin is my most drafted running back, if that helps. But it is.
That honestly does help.
That does help.
Pittman 25%, Downs 24%, Olave 22, Tootin 22, Tet 22, Drake May 22.
I'm at 21% McBride as my second.
Our frickin' ARF, dude.
Nice.
That's pretty.
That's a lot of McBride, Shope.
21% McBride and Jaydon Blue. 20%.
This is actually the most depressing. I realized Brock Bowers is no longer my most drafted tight end. He got overtaken by 1%. Hunter Henry pulled ahead late.
Oh, couldn't be me. I only have one tight end drafted over 12%, and it's Brock Bowers at 18.7.
I'm at 18.
Yeah, I have Henry at 20, Bowers 19, Jawan Johnson at 16, and then George Kittle 14.
I didn't believe in very many things this year, but the things that I believed in, I at least got 18% of them.
So
all right,
overall, I just realized Tootin has been my top drafted player for so long that I just assumed he was. Overall, it's no longer Tootin, it's Burden.
Wow.
But Tootin is my highest drafted.
Absolutely nothing could go wrong with the Burden as your most drafted player. That is
honestly, I kind of feel like it can't. I think I feel like he's gonna at worst he's gonna be Kadarius Toney. That's like
Kadarius Toney. Are you kidding me?
They're gonna manufacture him touches at some point. I'll be fine.
He changed his number.
He did. He did change his
number. I loved him in 87. I'm that age.
Yeah.
Give me these guys in the 80s.
That made me feel like he matured.
Yeah. They'll come back.
That was very good, Joe. No one caught it. I did.
That'll make a comeback.
My top guys right now: Burden, Tootin, Harold Fannin.
Let's go.
Nice.
Oh,
my cousin.
Incredible.
Demario Douglas, Brock Bowers, Miles Sanders. It's time to go to work. I'm sorry. What's the opposite of slapping? You put a tie on in the mirror.
No, Miles Sanders.
Can I have my
Miles
coffee,
Sanders.
honey?
No, Miles Sanders is still insanely slapped, dude.
Look, Davis, I came all the way around. My third most drafted running back, Jaydon Blue, 20% in BBM.
If only someone could have told you that this was the future.
He's my number 2.
Yeah.
By the way, did you guys have this experience? You guys actually probably didn't watch Notre Dame, Miami, but like watching Malachi Toney get all these targets for Miami, I was just like, my God, what could have been? I mean, they're not even related to each other, but it was still.
I prefer Sky Rager, actually, but
Sky Rager.
Is that a real guy?
No, just like the fact that like Malachi Toney is like a cut up of recent wide receiver busts is just like a very funny
It's
name.
really funny.
Yeah.
Sky Corley.
Good. Let's spare Evan any further.
Was
fame
he
here
the
and
one
move to
that made the
risers.
ridiculous catch, or was that CJ Daniels?
That was CJ Daniels.
Okay, yeah.
Malachi Toney just got like absolutely peppered with targets.
Yeah.
Well, as we
risers,
move to risers, you can tell that we're at the time of the year where the news cycle is really moving. There he is, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt up top. Ollie Gordon, Jalen Coker, who's going to move the other way as for the small time we have left in the season. Amari Cooper, Isaac Tesla, Austin Eckler. Interesting to talk about him. Travion Henderson, Emeka Ibuka, and Malik Washington moves out of last call range in the final days here of best ball summer.
What is the deal with Malik
Gordon
Washington?
That's like he had
good preseason usage.
People follow stealing signals.
They do. Let me tell you, what Gretch gave me the cosign on Brashard Smith, and I immediately moved him to 170 in my rankings. I was just like, I will be taking Brashard Smith every draft for the remainder.
Any time for an offensive rookie of the year bet, or is it too late to get in on Brashard Smith?
I think I laid my marker down for offensive rookie of the year on the Chiefs, and I laid it in Jalen Royals' camp. When he goes from 250 to 1 to 101. I'm gonna feel so good in that CLV. I'd like to offer an argument to my co-host here. Ollie Gordon, I think there's an argument right now to just take him straight up ahead of Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. He has fewer roadblocks, and I think there's a chance that
he has a fucking massive roadblock. He's a backup.
What are you talking about? Fewer roadblocks.
I feel like I'm going insane. This Ollie Gordon rise is breaking my brain. Like
I'm with you, man.
You guys ever heard of Raheem Mostert?
I have like 50%, maybe more in the main event because like I was down with him as an 18th round pick. You got us on him on 1. We have him on the slow draft rocks. I have him with Ron and Liam on like it's fantastic. I'm all about it. But like that's fun because I was like, well, Jalen Wright stinks, and maybe Ollie Gordon will be the backup, and now he is, and that is great. Why are we taking him? Like I did a main event with Gretch yesterday, and he went in the 9th round ahead of Scattaboo, ahead of Blue,
that's too much.
Ahead of all of these guys. People are losing their mind over Ollie Gordon. Devon Achane is fine, and he was always going to be fine, and he's the starting running back, and Ollie Gordon is a backup running back.
I just read this article on legendaryupside.com about how Achane's nutted season comes with 13 carries per game. So it sounds like there is some meat on the bone for a 235-pound Doak Walker award-winning nasty between the tackles rusher. That's all I'm saying.
It's in time to invoke the Doak.
Yeah, there's definitely some meat on the bone, but like we're talking about probably still less than 10 carries a game and behind one of the worst offensive lines in the league. And he's unlikely to get any receptions because that's the one thing Achane really does have locked down. And then so now it's like, is he going to get a lot of goal line carries? He could because he's big, but are they going to be, a powerhouse
game
rushing
scripts
team around
are
the
not
goal
in his
line?
favor either, right?
Yeah.
Number of receptions for Raheem Mostert the year he finishes the running back 2 in fantasy.
20.
No, he had more than that, I assume.
No, 25.
Yeah, Devon Achane had 103 carries that year. Like,
right?
Is that what we're expecting this year?
No, you guys are. You're not seeing the vision. You're mixing.
We're not.
Mixing,
we definitely are.
You guys are not seeing the vision.
Less.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Okay, I guess where we're at here is you guys are at a higher percentage chance that Miami is a dumpster fire on offense than I am.
Not really.
I've
been very Miami optimistic all year.
If Miami is the 11th best offense in football, the way that they call plays, this is a classic expected points to the backfield is higher than the norm. Actually, way higher, probably 90th percentile expected points available to this backfield because they don't have a third wide receiver. They probably are not even going to.
Yeah, they do. They have Malik Washington.
Come on, be serious. Malik Washington was on the team last year. They had Odell Beckham on this team. They've had
how many expected points do they have for their backfield last year?
I mean, still, I would have to look it up, but I would actually guess quite a lot. But
all of it went to Achane. There was no real spillover.
Yeah, the vast majority last year came through receptions, so it all went to Achane.
Okay, guys, just hear me out. What if Ollie Gordon has 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns?
What?
Okay, I can understand.
So if you did not see this, Liam tweeted that about Keon Coleman. And then people just hammered him.
Yeah, I saw
hammered him in the replies, and he was like, "I guess there's a bunch of losers who dated Keon Coleman."
That's the best. I hope that Ollie Gordon has 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns because I think he's my most drafted player in the main event. So I hope that happens. This rise is odd to me. I think that he is a great contingent value play.
Yeah,
he might have some standalone value in a best ball sense, he'll get 8 carries a game and maybe he scores a touchdown some weeks. Yeah. I just in terms of being an actual starting player on a weekly basis, I see no path to that outside of an Achane injury or a very little path to that. And all these other rookie running backs have a very obvious path.
Okay,
JCM,
what is
Tootin, Stadabo, Samson, Judkins, Blue, all of those guys could easily be the RB1 on their team without any injuries. And it's so easy to see how that happens. Gordon, it's way more crowded.
I grant all of that. I'm not talking about Ollie Gordon being the lead back on this team. I think Achane will lead this team. Give me your mental model, implied probability that the Dolphins comes close to what they generated in 2023. They generated 6,800 yards. They led the NFL in yards. They were second in the NFL in points for. What is the likelihood that they are in that neighborhood?
I think that's possible, but I don't think it's going to come the same way. I think it will be more through the pass. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball like that.
I think it's slim. I mean, they're minus money to win 7 games or fewer. That team was good. I mean, they just faltered late in the season, and I don't know.
They got
hate to fall for the vibes, but
they got to Kansas City and they said
minus 10 degrees.
We have never been less interested in playing a football game.
I know.
Is anyone else cold?
I think what's breaking my brain about it is I'm just, I guess, confused why people weren't drafting him all along then. Because if people have this much latent optimism for Ollie Gordon that was waiting to spring up, why was anybody letting Jalen Wright stop them?
It
I walk
wasn't
out Jalen
Wright.
People are like, dude, it was a Doak Walker Award winner. He's so good. And it's okay, I grant that. But then where was this trutherism all along?
It was because people were concerned about the 18th round. It was Madison. It was the presence.
Oh my God!
You're worried about
Madison. People were concerned about Alex Madison, but now they think he should be going in the.
Dude,
10th.
he got $5 million. He got $5 million. He got more money.
It was
$5 million.
It was Jalen Wright.
It was both of them.
Right, but it should be both those guys stink.
I agree with you. I drafted Ollie Gordon in May. I was the only one telling the truth.
But we didn't know that so much.
You were taking Gordon. I'll give you credit.
Yes,
you've been consistent on this point.
Big W for Davis.
If you don't like Jalen Wright, but then okay, but it's still a second-year running back with all these same points. I mean, we had these conversations about Woody Marks, and then Davis got around to, well, who cares if we think he's bad? I mean, the Texans maybe don't. And so I think there was enough uncertainty about Wright to, justify that. And then you've got a split. Then you've got Washington, where you've got 2 young running backs where you don't really know the pecking order.
I think it's obviously the reason why he's steaming up so high now is the combo of season-ending injury for Madison, Jalen Wright injury, and stinkage. I mean, Wright just we got to see Jalen Wright on the field, and he was just what he averaged 1.8 yards per carry in the preseason or something
Didn't do anything and got hurt.
Yeah, didn't do anything and got hurt. I mean, I would I think he's probably just done. I wouldn't be surprised if we just don't see Jalen Wright play for the Dolphins.
He's toast.
Yeah.
I also there's now people in the comments that are saying look, Madison was winning the job, but now Gordon. If
That's
Ollie
bad
Gordon is
for
going
Gordon.
to
That's
lose
so
the job
bad.
to Alexander Madison, why would I have any interest in a player that can't beat on Alexander Madison? I don't understand how both these things are true at the same time.
That's the other thing with Gordon. Like, Gordon is coming off this horrible season. He falls to the 6th round of the draft. And I know we're doing the like, well, this round's really that round this year, but like the 6th round's not the 3rd. You know, if we whatever discount you want to apply, it's pretty concerning. Like, if the 6th round's the 5th, the NFL did not see the guy from 2023, or he wouldn't have fallen down into the 6th round.
Well, they definitely seen him to some degree because his 2024 tape was undraftable.
Okay. I guess that's good, but I mean, it's still.
I love it
when
a guy is coming off of an undraftable year of tape. That's my favorite.
Davis, is there a Chuba Hubbard comp from like what he was 2 years before?
No, it literally like they both went to the same school. They both had this identical 3rd season and then awful final year. They both don't catch passes. Like it is legitimately identical between like same coach, same offense.
You better hope it's not, because Chuba Hubbard didn't do anything as a rookie.
3, right?
Right.
Yeah. Like that's the other thing. And so Chuba Hubbard just pulled up his relative athletic score. He had a 4.5 40. He had a 1.56 10-yard split, which is 8.51 there. And that was at 210. Gordon had a 4.6 140 with a 1.62 split, which is a 4.75 mark. His RAS is not good. Chuba had an 8.43 and Gordon was at 6.21. That, like, if the guy, the profile was pretty concerning. The draft capital doesn't come through. Is he athletic? Not really. He's big, but he's like, I don't know. I mean, I know he looked pretty good in preseason, but like, that shouldn't really move the needle.
Dude, he looked huge in preseason. Honestly, my takeaway was that he just looked huge.
He is huge.
He is huge. That's for sure.
But I think this dude. No one wants to make this point because it's not fun, and it could be proven wrong immediately. But he could look like a total plotter in the beginning of the season. Like, this dude could lose the job back to right. Like, let's be honest.
Probably,
what have we
my
seen?
guess is there's going to be a bit of the season where he does look a little bit like a plotter, because the deal with plotters is you kind of have to let them like feel their way into a game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't be surprising if he looks maybe kind of brutal for the first couple weeks, but then by like week 5, he's like, oh, this guy's ripping off some nice chunk gains. Like he's felt out the rhythm of the NFL game. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
If next year we get talk that, like, we know we didn't use him that much, but he's really had a good offseason and he's going to be a big part of our offense going forward, aka he's Braylon Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would be pretty Braylon Allen, because they're going to fire Mike McDaniel. They're going to bring in a boomer coach that's going to treat HN like Breece Hall, and they're going to love the like productive, fat running back who like has never actually done anything impressive on a football field. And they're going to be like, this guy is incredible. So that's literally where this is setting up.
Right. Right. So he's, yeah, I think, but like, if you think about like in the grand scheme of things, him becoming Braylon Allen next year would be like a win for his profile. Like, the expectations should be pretty low for what this guy's going to do as a rookie, even with the backup job in play. Like, he should be a contingent bet on HN. I think that he's kind of been risen up as like, he has like, you know, like, because he didn't have the training camp that Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt did, or like they didn't trade right. They didn't, you know, they certainly didn't trade HN. They didn't clear the runway for this guy and said, like, this dude's going to be our starting running back now. So, and also Gordon had like a very high volume profile. Like we kind of, I feel like we know who he is a little bit better. In the comments, someone was also saying he's a breakaway plotter, which
plotter.
One of the other issues I have with Gordon is that he was like super inconsistent. His success rate was not good. So he is kind of like a boom bust breakaway runner, but without speed. So, you know, that could be tough, especially behind a bad offensive line. So I think early Gordon is like clearly a huge win, because you correctly identified the contingent bet.
Yeah.
He's now moved up. He could have a standalone role. He could be like he could be a free version of Tank Bigsby, even in my view, where I don't think he's very good.
I was gonna say that's a good comp.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not chasing him because this ADP is a lie. This 167. He's going ahead of that. Like he goes high.
Yeah, 142
142
is the latest.
is what's on the screen, and that's borderline a lie. But yeah.
Well, good thing I realized that was a lie because I just misread it.
Yeah.
You were proven right. You were
like, this thing that's wrong just doesn't seem plausible to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way is Tesla going 183. I'm in these drafts. Wait a minute, 161.
Come on, you can't
That's
tell
right.
me that.
Okay, then I'm right.
Yeah.
You want to talk Washington? So I've got the props up. We're at the point of the year where, like, here are the week 1 props. Over 40 rushing yards week 1 against the Giants at home as a 7-point-ish favorite. Austin Eckler plus 292. 3-1 to exceed or even meet 40 rushing yards in this game. For what it's worth, Krosky Merritt is plus 122, so close to even money to do the same thing. And Rodriguez is plus 196, so 2-1. So, by just rushing yards, I feel like JCM is the leader.
Well, no one wants to hear it, but he's probably gonna be a healthy scratch.
What?
What are you talking about?
Like what? What? No.
Who is going to be inactive?
McNichols.
McNichols.
So the way that just doesn't make a ton of sense. I guess it could be McNichols.
Or none of them. If they want McNichols as a special teamer, then they might just have 4 running backs active.
Yes. Yeah. That's possible.
Because Rodriguez and McNichols both play teams. You could have 4 running backs active if 2 of them play special teams.
If 2 of them play teams. And they have like an H back, so it's a little bit different. Yeah. No, that's true.
I think, for all the talk about
what happened.
Yes.
Davis is so out on Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt today. He said he'd take Ollie Gordon over him a second ago.
Well,
and now he says it's going to be a week 1 scratch.
So I just hopped off the projections call with Adam Scherer, who is like the number 1.
Oh, wow. He got you, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, we just talked through it, and it's like he's working on the projection. He's just like, it just doesn't make sense to be giving Bill 40% of the team rushes. Like you really can't get there. And I think he's right.
What if they decide that they don't have anybody better?
Why does it make sense?
Yeah,
because all the beats this week are saying Rodriguez is going to be the lead early down rusher, and he will be this week. It's not going to last.
Yeah, I'm not like as convinced about that because the beats that I've been seeing, like this is like beats have a weird incumbency bias. There's some spots where when you read it, it's like based on something, and there's some spots where it seems speculative.
Yeah.
I definitely think Rodriguez is going to be involved. If I was to bet my life on which one gets more carries week 1, I might actually still bet on C-Rod, but I think it's
that's all I'm saying. That's all.
I don't think it's going to be like C-Rod 12 carries, Bill 2 is what I'm saying. Like I think it's going to be roughly even between them. Like for instance, like Mary Kay Cabot did a thing where she was like, yeah, Jerome Ford's going to be the clear lead back and Samson will be a change of pace. And I'm like, that doesn't actually match at all what happened in the preseason or what's happening in practice. That just seems to be a beat writer who has like a preconceived notion that she's putting in print. And I think she's going to be proven incorrect very quickly. Like
the beat writers,
a similar thing with the JCM stuff.
They come more from the world of like the team, right? The primary people consuming their content, maybe not anymore, but probably, and certainly for a long, long time, has been fans of that team. And so it's like, who's the number 1 back on the depth chart? Who's the number 2 back on the depth chart? They're not really projecting splits super. That's never really been their job. And I feel like they're not always that great at doing that. So
you guys are.
The key to it is that the team is where they get their information, and why would the team necessarily be honest? I mean, that's just and then plans change. So, yeah, that's. I mean, there are the beats, and then there are the bets, and the bets say JCM is the bet of the 3 in terms of rushing yards.
I will say though, when the props got released, I don't know what the number is at today. Shakeup, I know you said it, but
20. It was 25 yards was his, or 21 was his opener.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, his opening was 21.5, and it got bet up over 30. I don't know where it is exactly right now.
Well,
All I have is like different levels at BetMGM, and it's plus 120 to rush for 40 yards. Like it's just way better.
Also,
Right.
to some degree, you have to
guys.
understand the people betting into this market know they're also might be getting a free roll if he's a healthy scratch. You guys are also misinterpreting what I'm saying to some degree, which is I don't give a shit that Chris Rodriguez is a known commodity. He's 27 years old. He played 5 years at Kentucky. This is his third year in the NFL. He has 27 receptions his last 7 years playing organized football. This is not a serious threat to what we think Bill can be, but I am expecting a slower burn than we were maybe led to believe by Ben Standig. Like, I don't think we're getting 19 rushes for JCM.
But he's not going to be a healthy scratch. That would be kind of wild. Like they're trying to figure out who their starting running back is. It would. Just,
I also don't care if he is.
I care.
I certainly care.
I will say that is not. I'll say that is extremely unlikely. I think Tootin could be a healthy scratch week 1.
Me too.
I've put the odds at that of like
C-Rod is 24. We need
that. It's not important to what I'm saying. It's irrelevant.
27 is not 24.
Objection. Overruled.
Yeah, he is 24.
Overruled.
That is correct.
Overruled.
How many years in the league? Is it 2 or 3?
This is his third year.
His third year.
So
Okay.
he's
big
actually the
difference,
exact
Davis.
same age as Jacory Krosky-Barrett.
He has
He's also 24.
Bill is also 24. My God. They're the same age.
JCM was in college for like 9 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm rethinking
Also
this whole
possibly
thing.
They are the same age. They are the same age. Irrespective of Davis's lies and disinformation.
It was not lies, and it was directionally accurate.
What was it? It's actually inaccurate.
No.
No, it was
Directionally
factually
accurate.
it was factually incorrect, but directionally accurate.
No, your point was that C-Rod is old and not a threat to Bill, but they're the same age. Bill might actually be older.
Yeah,
My
it's gonna be a
point
tough
is
one.
that we know what Chris Rodriguez is.
By the way, the line is 5.5, so people have been betting the Giants a little bit.
Wow. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff.
Coker, that's a bummer.
That's a bummer.
I hardly knew her.
Yeah, right.
You know what
I was slamming Coker. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, I was like,
oh,
obviously, I said this on Twitter. Obviously, there have been injuries that have affected me more financially than my like favorite round 15 wide receiver. But this was like the biggest kick to the dick I think that I've had in a while. Like it was just the bet was like so hopeless all summer. And then everything ran so pure for a week. Like we get Renfrow cut, we get Thielen traded, we get Canales coming out saying, yeah, he's our starting slot receiver. Like I'm so fucking fired up. I'm like, this guy should actually be going in the 9th. And then overnight, it's just all over. And I'm just sitting there with like $1,300 of Jalen Coker.
How many freaking eliminator teams were counting on Jalen Coker, Pat?
dude, so many. Coker, you were just like, it was just like free, like, God.
I was just slamming him.
Me
I was
too.
just
and it would have hit. God damn it. It would have hit.
Okay, I did not love this report that they're like, yeah, by the way, this guy's like not a hard worker. So what's up with like what? How did we not get that? Coker,
It actually makes
this?
sense. So it actually makes sense now in hindsight, like why the initial reporting was so bearish on him, like that he apparently showed up to camp kind of out of shape, which isn't good. But then like the reporting is like that he didn't show up to camp in very good shape, but then he had a great camp after that and he adjusted. So it actually kind of aligns with what happened this summer, which was we all had this hope for Coker early on in camp. He was kind of getting buried by the reports and we were curious why. And then obviously late in camp, he had regained their trust and was going to be the starting wide receiver for them. But yeah, now it's unfortunately over.
Yeah. I guess maybe I didn't realize that was happening, that there were these negative work ethic reports before. And then it's just not great, obviously, to be injured and then to read, by the way, we're worried about this guy's work habits. I'm just bummed for the eliminator because I did.
Me too.
I was just on the clock in like the 14th round.
Me too.
When Thielen got traded, so I'm just like, and I'll do a Coker here, and I'll do a Coker there, do a little Coker there, and it was just because the late round picks in the eliminator actually do matter more than.
And you're so much thinner at receiver. This is the thing about. Receiver. Yeah, with the eliminator, you have to take more running back points early. You have to get the projectable points. You have to start hot, obviously. And then you're like, oh, I'm pretty thin at receiver. And then Jalen Coker falls into your lap as a free starting receiver at the end of the draft. And it's just such a smash. Luckily, I only have 11% of Coker. I think the guy that when I was in the late rounds and the news broke, it was the Vele trade. Because I have 35% Troy Franklin, so he's my.
Oh, enough already with Troy Franklin. This guy stinks.
Come on,
another one.
I was on with Pete, and I felt like I was gonna lose my mind. He was like, "When are you gonna admit like you're wrong about Troy Franklin?" It was like a very Davis Maddock thing, and I'm like, "Never. What has he done so far to make me admit
I'll
this?"
never. You know what's more
man,
Davis
like the
Maddox than
prospect
bringing
who
up
everybody
Troy
said was
Franklin?
gonna go in the second, and I said stinks before the draft. Then he falls to the fourth, and he does nothing as a rookie. Like, I'm the one who's got to admit.
When are you gonna admit you were wrong, Jacob? When are you
gonna admit? It's more Davis Maddox
the burden
to say
of proof
I'm not
is on
wrong.
You.
It's way more Davis Maddox to be like, I'm not wrong. You guys just don't understand. You framed me incorrectly. I've actually been right this entire time.
We have Coker in the main event.
People.
Is he likely to be a cut?
We're cutting him.
We're cutting him.
Sure. Injured Panthers wide receiver. You got to hold on your bench for minimum of a month. Yeah, it's over.
The eliminator is such a bummer.
It's like what you guys said about Isaac Garendo on some podcast where it's like, it's not over in the sense that like the teams that you've already drafted, maybe it'll work out.
Could get there, but you don't take it anymore.
But there's no reason to keep making the bet. Like I'm hoping that the Coker thing happens in the future, but we are not holding an injured Jalen Coker for 6 weeks on our main event bench.
We sure ain't. I mean, dude, we might have to pick up whoever the running back 3 is on the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Don't we already have Gordon?
Yeah, we do. That's true. Jeff Wilson, come on down.
Jeff Wilson Jr. That's right.
How many times does Jeff Wilson Jr. get picked up in the main event this year?
Oh, God.
Every week.
Emeka Egbuka in week 1 is likely going to be like one of the most owned players in salary cap DFS.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
How does that
cheap.
hit you?
What's his price?
I believe he's
like
4,900 or something like that.
Man,
I don't have
Emeka Egbuka, Dylan Sampson, log out.
It's honestly like you just play all the like I did so I could see my exposures on DraftKings. I like put in a $5 milli team, and it was like the slappiest roster ever. It was like genuinely crazy because you can fit. It's like Tedero McMillan. I think like I don't know Golden. Someone else very slappy week 1. It's just the price really low.
Yeah.
Minus 102 over 60 yards in the game. That's a pretty healthy.
I think I already have an underdog DFS pick'em with him over 99.5 receiving yards, like with the slider. I believe
it's gonna be a super, super, super fun game, week 1.
At Atlanta.
We'll be talking about it on Thursday morning when thinking about DFS.
You know who it is? Ricky Pearsall's 4,500 on DraftKings.
Oh, but Jennings is back.
Is Jennings back?
Yeah,
he practiced yesterday.
He practiced.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a slide if you want to jump. If you want to jump ahead to,
if he's practicing, he's back. It's not like he needs a ramp up period from an injury he never had.
He never.
Nice.
He was running pretty good. I saw him running around there.
Yeah,
I just have enough Jennings that I'm like, let me get confirmation.
Even when they asked John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan in recent weeks, like I know Pat, you were skeptical about our read early on. Like you were proven deeply incorrect. Like when they asked Kyle Shanahan last week about the calf injuries, like yeah, like seems like it should have been better by now, but I guess there's some other complications we'll need to
No,
get
what he
resolved.
said, what he said was even funnier. He said, "Who's to say two things can't exist at once? You can want a new contract and have an injured calf. Like it's possible."
Pat got the line in the Time Machine article about, are we going to be dead anyway? Some reference to that too from Shanahan, which was
classic.
slick. This is the return to practice slide. A lot of this wasn't also Micah Parsons one of these two where there's a back thing, then he's fine, and then maybe they
had a real injury,
shift or hedge a little bit on that. Yeah. Anyway, a lot of guys are actually fine. Achan, McLaurin. I mean, that wasn't an injury. Well, maybe there was that with McLaurin. Even some talk about him being whatever. It doesn't matter. Jennings, Khalil Shakir, I think is probably good for Buffalo.
Fine. But I think you would dock your early expectations for his production, personally.
It'll be hard for my expectations
For who?
to get much lower.
Shakir, I mean, like he's coming off a high ankle sprain. He's going to play, but I'd expect a slow start. Reed is like, dude, I mean, I was reading up my BBM exposures before because I didn't want to talk about my highest drafted player overall, which unfortunately is Jayden Reed.
Oh boy.
And it's like, I have no clue what to make of it. It's so weird. I mean, I gave Davis my best cope, which then I think became the more popular cope, which is the situation seems so implausible that it's almost impossible to believe that the injury is as bad as it's reported, because I don't get how the medical team would allow him to practice and potentially play on a broken foot. That doesn't, we're not in the 1960s anymore. He's not Jack Youngblood. So Shoup is at that game.
I mean, not the 60s, but okay. I've enjoyed my conversations with Jack Youngblood. Go on.
What was it? The 70s when he played it in the Super Bowl on a broken leg?
Yes, Super Bowl 14. That's right.
Okay. Yeah. So it just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I don't know what you guys think. You guys are less invested in the Jayden Reed experience than me. You're probably more objective, but I'm assuming he's going to be way worse than I hoped, and I'm just praying that he flukes out a couple touchdowns before he gets injured for the rest of the season at this point.
Yeah, I was trying to find because Jeff Mueller had a breakdown of it, basically saying this doesn't happen. You don't just play on a Jones fracture. Like everyone who's had it gets surgery. But there's been so I looked through kind of the replies and stuff, and someone replied to him. So what you're saying is he doesn't have a Jones fracture because they wouldn't let him play on a broken foot. And he was like, it's been so long. No one's come out with an alternate report of what's happened that he actually thinks he probably is trying to play through the Jones fracture. Dubner was floating in our stuff of it could maybe be a pseudo Jones or something where it's kind of a pre, the bone isn't fully broken, but it's stressed, and maybe if you're risking it breaking if you play on it. And then Reed himself has confirmed that he's playing through pain in his foot.
Yeah.
So that we know that there is a foot injury that is causing him discomfort that he's attempting to play through. And no one has said anything, but they're not saying, yeah, Jones, get the hell out of here. Obviously it's not Jones, which they could easily do. So yeah, I'm pretty nervous about it.
Wasn't it reported it was a Jones fracture?
It was, but
yeah, nobody's
was reported
denying it,
which is probably true. All I'm saying is it's just not all of the pieces of information that we have make no sense together.
They make no sense. Yeah.
Which I guess the most likely conclusion is that he's either just going to be IR'd the day before week 1 and the Packers say cool, thanks for trying to return to practice, but not happening. Or he just, I guess, plays and immediately re-injures it. But what's so confusing to me is I get from an athlete perspective. If you're Jayden Reed, right? You had this kind of, you were this breakout wide receiver. You had a frustrating end of last year. Now the team drafted another wide receiver. You get this injury. Okay, well, no one cares about Savion Williams.
Packers did enough to take him in the 3rd round.
All right. Enough of that. So then Jayden Reed is, he's frustrated. I get it. You get this devastating foot injury, and I would think the same way. I would be like, fuck it. I'm a elite professional athlete. I can play through anything. I'm not getting surgery this crucial year of my career. I'm going to play through it. I understand that. But isn't that why teams have medical staffs? Especially the Packers have a notably conservative medical staff. Wouldn't they step in and be like, no, Jayden, like you're not stepping on the field on a broken foot. Like we can schedule you for surgery, or if you don't want surgery, you can like lay on the couch and hope it gets better, but like not happening. And that clear. So they're letting him practice. I don't know if that means they're going to let him play. It's just so confusing to me that he's out there at all. I get why he would want to do it, but I don't.
So Jason Wild had the report. I think he might have had the report on the Jones fracture, but he had a quote saying Jayden Reed doesn't have much interest in the timeline doctors recommended for recovering from a Jones fracture.
Of course.
So I don't know. I mean, doesn't have much interest feels like a polite way of saying he's not listening to their doctors.
Yeah.
But why is it optional? Like, again, I get that the surgery thing, like if they're recommending surgery and he says, I'm not having surgery, no one's physically restraining him and putting him under the knife. Like if they, like he could say, I'm going to try with rest instead. That checks out to me. But like, he then shows up. He's like, I want to practice. They say, sure. Like,
well,
what?
because, okay, if you're, no, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea what would happen from playing on this, but if hypothetically playing on this injury would only just kind of create more pain rather than like worsen it in a serious way. But as I'm saying this, like, how could it not worsen it? How could it prevent healing? Like, how could it not prevent healing to play on a broken bone? You're not supposed to play if your bone is broken because it's not going to heal right. So I don't know. It's crazy.
It's the worst receiver injury. I think you guys are right on it. We don't really know what was going to happen. Sammy Watkins in Buffalo. I mean, the Jones fracture
ruined Sammy's career.
We're all too scared to admit that Dontavian Wicks is like just the ultimate chaperone.
I've been clicking him again.
Even Michael
also
Leone
ruined
is pro Wicks now.
This ruined Sammy Watkins' career. This ruined Des Bryant's career.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a graveyard of wide receivers with
Julio Jones have this injury too, maybe?
He did. He came back somehow and was awesome again because he's Julio Jones and is like a god among men. But yeah, he did have this at some point.
Yeah. By the way, everyone, just so you know, your DraftKings clocks just went to 10 minutes.
Whew. Oh God. That's not even a slow draft anymore. That's just like it's actually the most aggravating clock imaginable. Like I would rather it go down to 30 seconds than 10 minutes.
That's a home league. I have a draft tonight. Somebody will
not if you're in a
minutes.
Bunch, Jacob. That's you need.
Oh God.
What if you're in 50?
That's fair.
Jaydon Blue off the injury report, by the way, kind of sneaky. Yeah. Here's a Davis Matic Gold Star play. I have already wagered site credits on this. Javonte Williams lower 36.5 rushing yards against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. He's gonna need 17 carries to get above 36 rushing yards. Javonte is about to have the most 12 carries for 29 yards ass performance that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Blue is
not great.
Is not posted at DraftKings.
No, Blue might not get a rush in this game, but he'll get some.
I've gotten crazy excited about Jaydon Blue. I thought he looked fantastic in that preseason game. Like
listen to Davis Matic, baby.
Come on, Pat. Like, did you watch the last preseason game? Like, he's always been fun as like a receiver, gadget player, all that stuff. Like, he had some legit inside runs. He showed some juice. He showed a little power. Like, also,
no, I'm more in on Blue. I'm definitely more in on Blue. It's all broken pretty nicely for Blue.
It broke pretty nicely for Blue when his teammates were Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders.
But like it's even broken more incredibly. Like Javonte's gotten some perfunctory hype, but he's not gotten anyone to really say like he actually looks that good. Miles missed most of camp with an injury and like barely made the team. Phil Moff is the only other upside guy. He's on IR. Like we're cooking with Jaydon Blue.
The other thing is that Blue was struggling to get on the field. It was like, they're playing Deuce Vaughn over him for a while. It was like he's going to be, kind of someone they have in the mix. But now you're getting like the run game absolutely sucks. Like this run game is a huge problem. Like, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, that sounds right. Yeah, like why did you do this to yourselves? You brought in a failed free agent signing who immediately became like not even a particularly good backup in Miles Sanders. And then you also have Javonte, who was so cooked last year. Like, of course it sucks, but I don't know. I thought, maybe somehow they'd get like enamored with these guys enough to where they just feed them a bunch of touches. So that doesn't seem to be happening. And then trading Micah Parsons is honestly pretty good for Jaydon Blue. Because you're just going to have to throw nonstop.
Waiting for Jerry Jones to call Sanders Michael Sanders. Then we'll know that that's an especially bad sign for him. Najee Harris. What?
I guess he's okay.
Likely playing. He's fine.
Was he always okay? No, because he would have practiced. Like, why would they have played around with that?
Nothing ever happens other than Brian Robinson Jr. getting traded. Nothing ever happens in the NFL, but Brian Robinson Jr. did get traded.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys expect?
But yet we simply cannot project the guy they traded him to play for any touches in week 1.
No, he'll be a healthy.
It'd be crazy. What a crazy thing to do.
You guys
I think they might want to take a look at the guy they traded Brian Robinson.
Hey man, don't be too week 1 brained. Don't be too week 1 brained.
You're being too week 1 brained.
You're being week 1 brained.
Corey Krosky-Merritt leads the Commanders' backfield in fantasy points for the entirety of the season. I don't think it is the most likely scenario that he leads the week 1 backfield in fantasy points.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. I don't think that's most likely either. I think it'll be Austin Eckler who leads the
Me too. I think it'll be Austin Eckler.
You want to jump back to the Fallers when you're ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to ask, what do you guys think the Najee Hampton split's going to be when he plays, which might be week 1, might be week 2? I think the damage is done. I think the damage is done too. I think we got Hampton to overcome the inertia. He got the entire camp as the RB1. Najee will have whatever the perfunctory RB2 role is, but like I think Hampton is going to be incredibly startable as a low end RB1 from the start.
We've seen 4 years of Najee. He's absolutely stunk in 3 of them. He's cobbled his way together to usable fantasy points by catching a lot of balls and getting a volume, but his efficiency's been bad. He was actually okay last year, but then his team lets him go. He doesn't sign an impressive contract at all, and then he misses the entire summer. I don't think like Najee's. If you were to say like, what's the one trait that Najee Harris has that really like separates him as a pro? It'd be that he can handle a ton of volume and he stays healthy doing it. But that's not actually a particularly useful trait to have if you're in this situation, unless Hampton goes down. It's like now he needs to be like he looks so explosive on a per touch basis. You just want to see more anytime you put him out there. Like, nope, that's not Najee at all. So yeah, I think he's a very high volume contingency play. Like he's, if you could argue that he's pretty undervalued because he's kind of like a much cheaper Zach Charbonnet now. But I think he's not going to threaten for the job, I don't think.
You guys said recently, maybe last week, just like the possibility that Najee Harris skips the entire offseason program and then is on the field for Kansas City in Brazil in week 1 seems pretty remote. And I guess I'm still
here we
there.
are.
So
Here we are.
Here we are.
Nothing ever happens.
Fallers, Joe Mixon, Brian Robinson, Garendo back-to-back, Tajay Spears on IR, Quinshon Judkins might be back soon. Rashee Rice, Jalen Wright, who we discussed, Breece Hall, and Trey Harris. Do we have the Chargers receivers? Do we feel like we've got that locked down? Like Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, McConkey, of course.
Johnson became free. People, once he got concussed, and
I'm not.
People are out.
I only have 3 Chargers. I only have 3 Chargers receivers ranked in my top 200, and those 3 are Ladd McConkey, Keenan Allen, and Keandre Lambert-Smith.
Yeah, let's go. Right side of history, Jacob.
Didn't even get to him.
The 2 guys here I want to talk about, Quinshon Judkins, maybe this will change now because of the latest news. It made no sense that he was following basically back to
where he was,
dropped prices. Like, I don't understand what was going on with that. There was / is, I guess, still some risk of exempt list, suspension, whatever. I don't think we're not out of the woods yet until we get the tweet that says the NFL's concluded its investigation and there'll be no discipline. But like,
depends how busy the worst case is.
The worst, yeah, that's true. The worst case scenario was off the board as soon as they dropped the charge. And I was bearish on Judkins at that prior to that, but like the bet fundamentally changed, got way better, and then everyone treated like, oh, we're just right back to where we were. It's been crazy. I've been drafting the shit out of him in like the 150s, 160s. I don't get it. It's been really weird. I think he's been a massive late value. And then Rashee Rice just like clearly became a better pick after the 6 game was announced. Like before that tweet, he might get 8, he might get 10. We don't know when it's going to happen. It might come in the middle of the season when you have bye weeks and injuries. It might include playoff games in weeks 15, 17. That's not likely, but that was possible.
It could have been less.
Those worst
Also,
case scenarios
could have been less.
I don't think it could have been less. I don't think it could have been less. Like it could have been less maybe when he first took the plea. I was always on 6. I never really believed the 4 stuff, but to me, it basically was after he came to the plea agreement, he wound up getting like 90% of the best case scenario. And after the Adam Schefter September 30th tweet happened, he got like the 100th percentile outcome, and yet he's still declining half round. I think it's wild.
A 100th would have been like a
crazy
2-gamer or a 4-gamer, right? I mean, he's still.
But like,
I think
was that really on the board after the whole like the NFL is pushing for 10 games like stuff?
Not. Yeah, it was very likely. I would say 4 was maybe, given that he got 6, there must have been like some small chance of 4, right? I don't know. I don't think this was 100th percentile outcome. But at the same time, like you kind of knew he was going to fall, because people aren't paying that much attention. It's never priced in. Like this was one where I saw the initial reaction as bullish. I saw, Jacob, that you were like, hell yeah, let's go. Looking in the Discord, people are excited. And for a second, I was like, damn, is he actually going to rise? And then I thought, no, it's never priced in. He's going to fall. No. Like he's going to fall because people they see the suspended tag on DraftKings. They're like, this dude's going to miss 6 games. I'm supposed to take this guy right now. He's going to miss the first 6 games. Like knowing the certainty in your heart that he's definitely going to miss the first 6 games. I think people just have a hard time clicking it. Even though it's irrational, and if anything, the fact that certainty is actually good because previously he might miss 8 games or 10 games in playoff weeks, like you're saying. But yeah, it's crazy to me. It's never priced in because it's never priced in.
It's never once in the history of fantasy football and underdog been priced in.
And it in part because like if maybe we like, what if we ran one of these tournaments backwards? So that like the people who draft in August drafted first, and then it got to May and it was less people and they were all super nerds. Then it might be priced in. But it's the fact that it's like new people are coming in who've paid way less attention, and they're like, oh, this guy's gonna be spending 6 games. No thanks.
Right.
They take Jacoby Myers over him. He's not suspended.
I mean, I'm not like jamming Rashee, like in my final run of drafts here, like the puppy and stuff. I wouldn't say I'm like jamming Rashee Rice because the bands of what can happen with your team when one of your first 7 or 8 picks is guaranteed to miss a minimum of 6 games is just wider because you need more to go your way. You need your sequencing of wide receiver points and flex points to be better. But obviously, Rice will be one of the guys you would like. All right, we're checking our teams in week 16. We're like, oh shit, man, I got some semifinals in, and Rashee Rice happens to be on this team. You're jazzed about it. He's probably one of the players you would most like to find on your team. He just, makes it.
Rice is going to score. He's going to score so well down the stretch, though, that like, okay, let's imagine a world where he was an 18th round pick. He all of a sudden then would be like an advanced rate hammer.
Yeah.
So, like, where is that line?
It's lower, as in later in the draft than where he currently is being drafted.
Right.
Sure, but like, isn't the beauty of it that you get? Like, I accept even in the 6th round, unless we get like unless Rashee Rice comes back and is like a round 1 value, I don't think he's going to have a great advance rate. That's fine. I'm not really that worried about my advance rate.
I'm not sure he's going to have a super bad advance rate though.
It might not. No, it might not be horrible, but I get that the threshold.
Well, every slap dick drafter on the platform is the one with a big bag of rice. So
yeah,
it could be the Eno Benjamin stat, but in reverse.
That's
how
true.
well did Harold Fannin do?
Well, he'll also have a bad advance rate because like there's no way to separate his advance rate now versus his advance rate when he was a second round pick. Like those
that's true.
Those round 2 Rice teams, like obviously the advance rate's going to be like horrendous.
Yeah.
So I can guess that his advance rate's not going to be that great. Even out of the 6, unless he's like unbelievable when he comes back. But isn't that kind of the point? Like you draft a portfolio of teams and you're going to get a player, ideally. Like Ben made a great point in his post. He's a little bit more bearish on the Rice stuff. It's like, we don't know that he's just going to come back and be last year's Rice. And it's true. We don't. But like the theory of the bet is we get round 2 production level Rashee Rice. We get him in round 6, and you don't have the ownership of any other player who entering playoffs is a round 2 level producer out of round 6. You get actually like round 8 quality production advance rate with round 2 quality production. And so you're not going to be in pools. Like if any other round 6 pick, if Roma Dunze performs like a round 2 pick this year, he will be owned incredibly in the playoff weeks. And it's going to be very difficult to separate on the basis of Rome. You're going to need your other players to do that. Whereas Rice can be both one of your best projecting players in the playoff weeks and not particularly highly owned. Like that just matters to me a lot.
That is nice, but the problem there is that unless you're able to advance Rice at a higher rate than the field, that means you're going to have that guy lower owned because you have fewer teams than most people.
Well, sure.
So you create kind of like, he could give you leverage, but you need that leverage. He needs to have a big week in 15 and 16 to make up for the fact that you don't have as many bullets now. I do think there's ways. Like I think if you build smart with Rice, you could probably increase the advance rate compared to the expected advance rate for that player in the 6th round. I think he's a pretty good pick. I don't think he's a smash, but I think he's a pretty good pick in the 6th round. There's weird dudes who fall now. Like Waddle fell to me in the 6th. I took Waddle. I know.
I've been getting like James Conner in the 6th, like the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing. This is like a niche thing. Everybody is mad that Rashee Rice plays Denver in week 17. They think that's a bad matchup. Do people not know where Rashee Rice lines up? Like
Jacob, these people, man, this is like
Pat Surtain is never going to cover Rashee Rice. He's going to be covering Worthy, or he's going to be covering Hollywood, or like he's going to be covering whoever is stapled outside. Rashee Rice is playing inside. He's going to be running against the fucking white guy.
You are making a classic mistake here of trying to meet people at a place that they don't understand. You're like these people have never had a critical thought.
Literally last week 17, the most dominant player who like won everybody everything was T. Higgins because he was the wide receiver playing Denver against not Surtain.
Yeah.
Like that's what you want. You want the wide receiver against Denver who's not lining up against the best corner in the league. It's a great matchup.
Yeah, that's only also this other thing that happens, and I actually noticed this is more. You see this more often in college football. People say that, in best ball we stack games. That's not a great game, as Charlie says. Something that you always have to understand, even in this version of the NFL, where for the first time ever EPA per play on rushes was positive, passing volume is down. Offenses passing the ball still have a distinct advantage. No matter how bad it gets, passing the ball is just easier than running, and offenses have an advantage because defenses are reactive. It literally is like the simplest toy game of all time. If you started to do game theory with football, you would realize that in every scenario, the offense has the advantage. If the Chiefs are in a position due to game script and that game to score 35 points, they're going to be able to score 35 points. It has much more to do about the decisions of the Chiefs coaching staff and of how the Denver offense itself does. That like good defenses can get smoked all the time. It's just the nature of how it goes.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a bad game. I don't think we know. We just don't.
We
know
don't
that that's
know.
a bad
We
game.
we
That's
literally
way too
don't
confident.
know. Yeah, we literally
We
don't
know that these guys are playing each other. We know that both offenses are exciting. Both offenses could pretty easily push each other. Bo Nix could take a big step forward this year in his second season. Sean Payton has been pretty into the pass throughout his career. Not as much recently, but he had the dregs of Russell Wilson and a rookie.
Yeah, he's one of the best play callers in the NFL.
In football history.
Yeah. So I think this is the idea that there's a comment here about their play style. I mean, I don't know. Like their play style, I guess you're saying from the last couple of years that he's been in Denver, but his play style before that was pretty different. And yeah, so
the Denver Broncos were league average in yards last year. They were 10th in the NFL in points. They were league average in yards per play. So again, these are just things that are not true. These are assumptions you're making, but they're really just not true. They're not reflective.
I write these matchups up every week. It's hard as hell. It's so hard to get it right. I would never, ever write up the week 17 matchups now. That would be crazy.
That would be
like,
crazy.
what are we talking about? We just don't know. I mean, there's gonna be cluster injuries all over the league. There's gonna be offensive guys that get hurt. There's gonna be offensive lines that are way worse. There's gonna be, there's defensive lines that aren't gonna be able to generate any kind of pass rush. Like great matchups are gonna seem horrible. Awful matchups are gonna seem like the nuts. Like it's just a million things are gonna happen until we get there. I just don't. And the other thing is, it's not like if this was like the Browns, versus the Packers or something. If that was the week. The actual one, the Steelers, is. I
will just never ever forget freaking Browns Jets week 17 2 years ago.
Right.
I'll just
outside in the
outside
weather
by the freaking lake.
El Nino.
It was like 35 degrees, and it was just like you get 100 yards, you get 100 yards. Breece Hall, just insanity. I obviously I buy that some games project to be really good, like Detroit, Minnesota. I think Detroit, Minnesota, It's just really hard for me to imagine that just being a bad game for fantasy. But
because it's indoors.
Because it's indoors. Like we just know that there's a bump.
I agree with that.
For indoors
and,
games.
and it would be
Detroit and Minnesota played each other in week 18 last year, and the game sucked. Like Jahmyr Gibbs had a great game, but I don't think anybody else did anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, the funny thing is Detroit's defense was all banged up then. So you even had that. Yeah, I mean, it would be pretty shocking if the Browns and the Steelers was a great game because those offenses both look like they stink and they're going to try to win with defense. So it's not like
that could be the Who Cares Bowl. I think probably the best Who Cares Bowl is going to be Giants Raiders. That's what I think is going to be the Who Cares Bowl. But it could be the Browns and the Steelers.
Yeah,
great callback on that. It's really when, for my purposes, Davis exploded on the scene with that summer of El Nino. Browns Jack. That happened without Cooper, who had gone off for 200 yards the week before.
He had 60 points the week before and then missed the final. Incredible.
Right. Denver is maybe the biggest favorite in the league in week 1. Dobbins, Harvey, any thoughts about the backfield going in?
I think they'll both be involved. I think Dobbins is the better start week 1.
Yeah. Sad but true.
And by the way, you mentioned Connor Davis. Man, easily foreseeable 2 touchdowns and 100 yards at New Orleans this week for him. He's
a absolutely massive smash. Do we want to talk at all about Breece or is that just pretty well worn territory at this point?
I'm slurping the dipparino on Breece, man. 5th round Breece.
I've been slurping.
I've been slurping. It's crazy to me. That's crazy. There's certain takes we all know are gonna look so dumb, like the type of thing that we're all gonna pretend we didn't think, in 3 or 4 months. Like I knew that was all just summer bullshit. I would nominate this as the Braylon Allen's actually like the Jets starter and Breece Hall's behind Isaiah Davis stuff is the one that people won't even admit they thought back in the summer.
I don't think that it's summer bullshit. Like I think that there is truth to the plan. I agree.
I agree.
I just think going in the 5th round now, like It is, especially when he falls, and he often falls lower than this 48.8 that's listed, like, or 48.4. Like he's frequently falling to like the mid. I got him in the 6th round a few days ago.
Jesus.
And like, at that point, it's like the talent bet or the talent opportunity cost is so much lower. Like, he's going against names that I don't really think can kill me. And Breece Hall is a guy who has shown the ceiling where he can kill you. Even if this is the plan, like, even if, someone brought up Dalvin Cook in the chat, right? 2 years ago, Breece was falling like this. People were concerned with the injury. They were concerned about Cook, and he didn't have that great of a role early in the season. It was a lot of Michael Carter on 3rd downs, and it was a lot of Dalvin Cook rotating in. And then Breece just proved himself to be infinitely better than these other goofs, and the workload followed. Yep. And I think it is at least quite possible that whatever the plan is, the first month of the season, Breece Hall plays Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis off the field and is a workhorse and absolutely rules at around 5 cost. Do I wish that I didn't take as much of him at the 3-4 turn as I did? Yes. But do I think he is still objectively a great bet in round 5? Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree in that people are not making this up. Like there's reporting and evidence that they really do plan to use a committee out of the gate. I just think that like we should be able to see how that's going to go. This is a team that's like, you look at win totals, you're like, oh yeah, the Jets are probably going to be pretty bad. They're not going to be dictating the run to people. And then are they going to be the big question for the Jets that I think is kind of dividing people. Like I think talking to Gretchen in our draft, the 5K team and Leone, I think they're on the other side of this for me, where I don't think that the Jets are very likely to just be one of these teams that kind of turtles up like an Arthur Smith team and refuses to pass the ball.
No, I don't think so.
If they do, and maybe that's overstating where they're at, but they're, I think, both expecting not a ton of passing volume. And I don't think that's how they're going to play it. I think they're going to be kind of more like, like kind of like more like where the Cardinals were last year or something, where they want to run the ball, but they are willing to pass the ball because they're losing. This is a team that's going to have to throw the ball to stay in games. And I think if that's true, then all of a sudden Breece starts to look like a really, really strong pick in the 5th round, because they don't have anyone to throw to outside of Garrett Wilson. It's Mason Taylor's probably the number 2 downfield target, or it's Josh Reynolds. But either way, they need people who can make plays. And Breece Hall getting him the ball underneath, like that could end up being like one of the most effective plays they've got.
For sure.
I think certainly will be one
here.
of the most effective plays they have.
Yeah. He's going to catch a lot of balls.
Week 1 will be really interesting tell there. Home to Pittsburgh. Implied total is around 18 points for the Jets. So if they look any good, that could get pretty exciting. Before we go any further, just want to mention, I don't want to forget to do this. The plan going forward here, we will be passing the baton, as Pete put it, to the stat chasing team starting next Tuesday at this time. But we will reconvene.
Canceled.
That we will be back together the first Tuesday of each month. They're giving us that, so we'll be back after today, and we're not done today, but in a month, first Tuesday of every month. The Shipcast is moving to Sunday afternoons. I love that as a fan of yours. Sundays for that late window. This Sunday will be at 3:00, so early games will not be over yet, Eastern time. And then next Tuesday, they go at night, I think, stat chasing. So Tuesday nights, YouTube members can watch live. Otherwise, it'll be public on Wednesdays. So look forward to watching those guys. Semi-canceled. Canceled, but not really, Jacob. I mean, we've got life.
Purgatory.
We've got life.
I found this out because I tweeted my content schedule out, and then I was informed that
the network exec came down.
The network executives came down and said, "You will not be going live on Tuesday mornings for ADP Chasing."
I was like you. I remember watching you guys into the season last year.
Yeah. We
and
were
that
because
was
it turns
Pete-
out we did, and me, Corain,
Yeah,
and Peter
Pete tried
all
to
forgot.
gaslight us.
No, I didn't
Corain
forget.
didn't forget. Corain just didn't want to work on Tuesday mornings anymore.
That's correct.
I
correct.
forgot. I forgot we did it.
Pete
I
said
felt like
you
I was
guys are
being
handing the
gaslit. Pete was
baton.
like, "What are you guys talking about? Like, we've never done ADP chasing in season." I'm like, "That's not true. I've guested on ADP chasing in season. Like, I listen to it every week."
First, I was excited to have my Tuesday morning, and then I was curious to see how this interaction was going to go, knowing that you were 100% right. And I was like, "How does Pete not remember that we did this?"
he's got a lot of balls in the air in his defense. But
That's true.
yes. So you guys will all be on Sundays.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We'll all be on Sundays.
That's
It's an
I'll
open
try
door
and
show.
3 Eastern,
Jump on
not
whenever.
4 Eastern. We're doing an hour early this week.
That's what he told me this morning.
Okay.
Was starting at
All right,
3.
sounds good. Starting. All right.
Next up, we've got Carolina. We talked about this a little bit, but Thielen being traded to Minnesota. What's any interest in him at all?
Slide.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Panthers shakeup.
See, it's
Coker
actually
injury.
it's actually like horrible for him in Best Ball Mania because he will be like the 9th option on the Vikings in the money weeks. It's really not ideal.
Maybe.
Sanders.
It's good for Sanders.
Is Thielen? Yeah, it's very good for Sanders. Is it possible that we are going to see, like, is Adam Thielen going to earn more targets than TJ Hawkinson in the playoff weeks? I don't think so.
No.
Probably not. He's the
Odds that
fourth
they're
option.
both on the field. I don't even.
Yeah,
He's the fourth option, arguably the 5th behind Aaron Jones.
mhm.
Yeah, I think I don't the Thielen thing. It sucks for him. Maybe I'll get off to a fast start, but not into it. And then for the Panthers, yeah, the guy that I really love is JT Sanders. I've always been pretty in on him this year, but like, especially now, no Thielen, no Coker. I just have zero like faith in Xavier Lee yet. I think he stinks. And I'm pretty confident about that. So to me, it's Tat. I think should be like an early 3rd round pick. And I think JT Sanders is the cheapest tight end who you can very plausibly see being the number 2 target on his team. Pretty excited about him.
In my final 5 DK Best Ball Millionaire Makers, how clickable do you think Hunter Renfrow is?
Uh-oh. Jacob's just gonna get the check here, I think.
I'm glad we're not doing this in season.
That's your week 1 starting wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. Hunter Renfrow has the highest points per game fantasy football season of any player currently on the Panthers roster right now.
That's so disingenuous.
So we're not
literally that might
McMillan
be
doesn't have
Disingenuous.
that literally could be the most disingenuous thing I've ever seen.
It's a rookie.
No,
A
you
second-year
have
wide
you have
receiver,
so
a second-year
many more
tight end.
disingenuous takes.
Put it on the pile.
than that.
It's another 2nd-year receiver who was a UDFA.
I think the
That's
most
some-
disingenuous thing you've ever said was, "I don't care about Chris Rodriguez. He's 27."
Oh, no, that literally doesn't make the top 100.
That's right
That
of the Mill
literally-
Davis.
Yeah, that's
right of the
lying.
Davis.
Lying about age. Lying about age is just any guy I don't like, add a minimum of 18 months to his age. Any guy I like, subtract a minimum of 9 months from
Yeah.
his age.
Like if we were creating a highlight reel, we would just like be like pretty quickly like, all right, let's get a couple age things in here just to like, acknowledge those. But like we can't, the whole thing can't just be this guy's 27. He's 23 actually.
Carolina at Jacksonville in week 1.
I'm saying,
Sanders.
dude, what's Renfro's route participation week 1? Tommy Tremble's banged up, might not play.
65%.
64%.
Damn,
Yeah,
Just-
we're locked in.
we are locked in, Jacob. Hopefully it's to the truth. Hopefully
it's
this
to
is
the
a good
truth.
time.
Ugh.
I'm just saying. I just want you guys to think about it.
Our next slide.
I'm gonna think
Positive
about it. I'm
news.
gonna think about it.
Yeah.
We mentioned Judkins for a minute. Jaylen Warren doesn't really mean a lot, Jacob. The contract.
Yeah, Jacob, what do you
not
mean?
I don't think it means that much for this year. I guess it means something for like Caleb Johnson's dynasty value. It's not like they gave him like some massive contract.
No, they gave him
$7 million a year. They basically just
Yeah.
they gave him a slight raise on the tender he was already making this year.
They
And
gave
then
him
they
Zach Moss money.
and then they extended the rights to his services. Like I don't know, like that's like it doesn't. I don't view this as like a starting contract. I view this as I view Jaylen Warren the same way that I view Jaylen Warren all offseason, which is that they view him as a role player who is capable of being the starter if Caleb Johnson is not ready to be the starter. And I think that Caleb Johnson will prove himself to be ready very quickly. And so that's fine. And if he doesn't, then yeah, Warren can continue to patrol more
Let's go.
touches.
You're locked in, Jacob. You're locked in right now, bro. Like you're
Dang.
just your last two takes so good.
Judkins, love the wording on the slide on the right. Judkins could be back with the team as soon as this week. It implies that he's actually been with the team ever.
He did OTAs. What you have to
He's
know
wearing the Browns hoodie right there.
what you have to know about the Browns
I have a
is
Browns
that
hoodie.
Mary Kay Cabot, the Browns fans hate
Oh yeah.
Mary Kay
Yeah,
Cabot.
yeah.
She just is always wrong about Browns related stuff.
Doesn't even say anything. Could be back with the team as soon as this week. Okay. I could have said that.
Speaking of Mary Kay Cabot, she wrote something the other week that I think you could really interpret as a threat, which was that she said Deshaun Watson has been looking really good, and Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, and Jimmy Haslam were watching him practice the other day, and the quote was, "They'll have a decision to make on him at the end of October."
Whoa.
God.
Missed that.
Is that the most threatening
Oh my God.
sentence you've ever
That
heard?
is threatening. That is threatening.
That's threatening. That's threatening, dude. No one wants that.
No,
I
But
don't
dude,
even think
like-
Deshaun Watson wants that.
I'll say one
Hmm.
more thing on the Browns running backs. Like, okay, if you think that Judkins should have been falling this whole time, why is Sampson also falling? Like, Sampson has been steadily falling ever since the Chargers were dropped, which makes sense. And then nothing happened to like get Judkins back with the team. So he's just been steadily crashing since then. But Sampson hasn't really moved up. He's just been stable. And Ford hasn't really moved up. So we now just have the situation where there's two exciting rookies and they're both have ADPs in the 140s. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
You can
to me.
take both of them. I'll just take
Yeah.
if I'm on the turn and they're both there. I'll just take both.
I gotta
Like-
I gotta be honest, Crane. I do not like that move.
Oh, I like
Why
it.
don't you like that move? We're talking about like a
The
13th and 14th
140s.
round pick.
I just
Yeah.
I guess I
Both
view
and
it
13th,
as
I guess,
a
is probably more like
I view it as a what do you win when you win situation, and I want my bets on the Browns to be kind of maxed
Yeah.
at 1.
I win a
But
lot more running back production than I can normally count on for those two picks. If I take two running backs in
Oh,
that spot
you know
because I
what?
need running backs,
That's fair.
I get a lot more
wouldn't-
production out of those two picks than I normally do.
Yeah, I wouldn't I guess I wouldn't say I think it is wrong from a strategy perspective. I just wouldn't find I don't think I have done that more than 3 or 4 times for the entirety of the you know what move I do like that I bet you guys will hate is I have taken Pearson Marks, Chubb and Marks, Chubb and Pierce. I've taken 2 of the Texans guys together.
I think
on a
that's
team.
fine.
I'm not doing
just-
it, but I don't hate
I have
it.
more faith in the Browns running game than I do in the Texans running game.
Wow.
Stefanski's a good run game schemer.
Better
Their
learn
O-line is not
Shedeur
good pass
Sanders,
blocking.
buddy.
But they can run block, and I think that they have talent in their backfield. I think all three, I think any of the 3 Browns backs would be like several tiers of talent better than any running back on the Houston Texans immediately.
Yeah. Even Ford. Yeah.
Joel is pointing out
Yeah,
that the
including Ford.
non-MKC reporting on Samson has been terrible. Yes. Yeah, it's basically everyone who reports on the Browns is like, this is the smallest man alive. It's a miracle that he's able to drive a human-sized car because he's so small and tiny.
Yeah, they can say that all they want, but he started the last preseason game with the starters and he looked awesome. So
he is
Stick
my
that
most
wherever you want.
drafted. I believe this will be a fun fact check of myself in real time. Who is Davis Maddox's most drafted Cleveland Brown?
Fannin.
It better be Fannin. It isn't. It's Judkins.
Wow.
Judkins 12%.
Let me check mine.
And then a bunch of 8%ers.
I've heard the he's so small stuff too from Dylan Sampson, but he's 200 pounds. I'm surprised he looks he's 5'8", which is really, I guess, where him looking small is coming from. But
you know, you guys make fun of me for being vibes based, but maybe his vibes are just small, dude.
No, he's the opposite of vibes are small. He had the best short yardage conversion of any back. He had 22 touchdowns in the SEC. He's the SEC Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay, fake.
Age 19.
I refuse. I don't take Tennessee numbers serious.
Last year, our offense was fucking garbage. Nico couldn't complete a pass, and he's a traitorous little a-hole. And we had to have Dylan Sampson carry that fucking team to the college football playoffs on his 5'8", 200-pound back. This is not Jalen Wright. This is a grown-ass man in a little man body who did everything he could to power that team to great heights. People like Jalen Wright never got more than 150 touches. He stinks. Dylan Sampson had like 260 carries and had 22 touchdowns on like 30 short yardage opportunities. Completely different player that people are associating with previous Tennessee backs. Sampson is a big boy runner for that team that had to grind out yardage. It's disrespectful.
Bam. I forgot that was an hour for you, Tennessee. Like,
does anyone?
That's true. I did drop an hour. Is
anyone buying that?
Yeah. Anyway, my most drafted bounce back is obviously Dylan Sampson. I
like Sampson. This is why I'm willing to draft both of them, because I think Sampson. I'm like,
oh yeah, you know what was the most bearish thing was when Dylan Sampson said, "I don't like to get tackled." I remember reading that quote. And being like, "Well, that's not great. I don't love that."
Yeah, that's the Travis Etienne energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
For those in the chat, someone asked how the hell I end up a Vols fan. It's simple. I'm a Colts fan. I looked up when I was 8 years old. I went to Google. I said, "Where did Peyton Manning go to college?" And it said the University of Tennessee. And so I decided to root for the University of Tennessee.
Good enough for me.
How did you become a Colts fan?
Peyton Manning.
They were on a lot when I was like 6, and it seemed really fun because they were always scoring points.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Also a fine reason. Credit to me as we move to the next slide for not having any idea who this is with Bo Nix. So again, shout out to me for having to look that up, which I have done, but absolutely no idea who that is. Now I know.
It's easy to subterfuge American democracy on site credit.
I love that they put the $5,200 on after.
Incredible. I think Bo Nix has been a right-wing pick the whole time. Yeah.
Bo Nix is definitely a right-wing slappy pick for sure.
Has been the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Are we doing last call?
We are doing last call because it is the last call for last call. Do we have an obligation to say who this is for the listeners?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Don't say it.
Okay.
Don't
I'll
say
pass.
it.
Yeah. Okay. So last call.
Runs a schmarly shirk.
One thing I know is that dude could not bench press his body weight. Just looking at him. What a small little fella. All right. Last call.
Last call for
I wasn't here last episode. Did I get assigned someone, or do I have to pick 2 people?
I think you got to pick 2.
Okay, I got to pick 2. I didn't get the obligatory Afton Chisholm.
He's already been taken, right? Or no? He was taken and then untaken earlier in the season by Pat.
Yeah.
All right. You want him?
No. I don't want Afton Chisholm. All right, I'll do my makeup pick first, I guess, and then we can go back around the horn. I'll go last after that.
My entire team, at the very least, all these dudes did make the 53-man roster.
Yes.
Nope, wrong. Not Estime. Estime did not.
That's right.
How do I have Ollie Gordon of this? That's so funny.
Philadelphia practice squad for Estime.
Yep. You were good at this, Corinne. I think honestly I'm the only one that really just outright failed.
He made the worst trade in last history, but
me?
Right?
No, I won the trade. I got Dylan Sampson.
No, he got the better of it.
Oh, okay. Well, then Jacob did. Somebody in this room made
Yeah.
the worst trade in the history of this game.
Well,
Okay, I would
gonna-
like to
you know
go.
what?
I
The
would
book is not
like
yet
to go
written.
before I get snapped off. I'm going to take Dontavian Wicks. I don't see him on any.
no, I already have him. That's Slap Demon.
Yeah, slap demon.
Gosh darn it!
I'll take Isaac Garendo.
Okay.
Nice.
Pretty good.
He's in the
As
200s.
As my makeup pick.
Man,
He really is in the
That-
200s?
Yeah,
yeah.
he is.
I really did not. I
Yeah,
really
right.
did not have much of an idea outside of that. Maybe
You're
a
just-
quarterback.
While you guys are thinking,
Oh, I
one
got
week
one.
where-
Oh no.
when
no,
I was
no.
absent, I picked Pat Fryermuth. I had Matt Waldman on my WGR show last week, and he sort of a throwaway line that Fryermuth will lead the Steelers in touchdowns.
I'm not buying that.
If it's close, it's still a pretty good.
I am
call.
not buying that in any
It's
way, shape, or
close.
form. Dang,
Was it gonna have
I-
3?
With 3. Yeah, I didn't even get to finish with 3.
Oh, I see what happened. They gave me Ricky Person for last week. Now I understand what Zach did.
I'm going.
So Garendo
no-
swaps in for Person.
There's no one left to take. This
There's
is
no
kinda-
one left.
kinda
There's
true.
no one left to take.
I'll take DeAndre Hopkins.
That's who. Okay,
Cool.
that was. I said I had a right wing slappy guy, and that was who I was going to take.
That could be. It should be 6 touchdowns. How about that? number?
Again, is my are my okay? I was about to take Turpin. He's already been selected.
Yep. Slurping the Turpin.
You know what? I'll do a bit. We're at the end here. I'll do a bit, and I've already lost this anyways. I will select Tyquan Thornton.
Ooh,
Nice.
that could be a thing.
No,
All right,
I failed at this exercise.
I'm looking at this room and I see a bunch of rookies, young players. Someone's got to show these guys the ropes. Someone's got to teach them things about life, about the real estate market. I'm going to take Tyler Lockett.
Nice.
Real
Has
estate.
he not been drafted?
I don't think so.
So,
I don't
No.
see him.
guys with ADPs of 200 or higher: Lockett, Hopkins, Garendo,
And I got one
and
more pick
Thornton.
to do
You do.
because Garendo is replacing Ricky Person. But you can go first, show. I'll go
I'm done.
last.
Hopkins.
Oh, right. So does anybody else have? So it's just me then left.
It's all you. Last call.
Last pick of the whole summer.
What a moment.
I think I'm most in need of a wide receiver because Deontay isn't playing, and I basically, it's not great at the wide receiver position. But I don't know if I have any viable wide receiver.
It is pretty much moot at this point, isn't it? Like, it's a fun idea for a
Mhm.
while, but it's,
You know what?
show's over on last call.
I'll end this on a very right wing slappy note.
Go.
We're gonna cross the political spectrum. It's easy to take Olamide Zacchaeus in last call.
Oh
Mm.
no! Oh no, Jacob!
Perfect
Jacob, I
pick to
need
end
Vernon
on.
so bad you can't. This
That's
only counts the
so
last 3
right-wing
weeks of the
coded.
season. It's so bad. It's so bad for me if this hits.
Perfect pick.
That's
For perpetuity.
Oh,
All right,
That's
boys.
how you end it. Incredible.
holy shit!
Ending it with Zacchaeus.
What's left, Davis? What have we got going today, this week?
Swolecast right after this, our first DFS slate
Week
preview
1.
of the season.
Wow.
Is yesterday not such a great day when you start to get into like week 1 projections? It's just a page being completely turned over. I just loved yesterday for that. Here, the projections are all popping, matchups.
See, my
spreads, props.
my brain is not there yet, man. I'm literally drafting a DK best ball millie right now. Like I'm not fully in week 1 yet.
I very much
I'll
am.
get there. Yeah.
Swolecast today, Jacob.
For me, we got dynasty points tonight as always, and then it'll be thinking about DFS on Thursdays with Davis. It will be the Underdog waiver shows out. We did our first episode yesterday. That'll be every Monday night in season. Of course, the Shipcast, and then thinking. The bulk of the in-season content is the Hitchhiker's Guide to Running Back. It's a 2-parter. We do a recap every Tuesday morning. We do the look ahead Streamer Stock Watch every Saturday, and then I'll sprinkle in some Dynasty content. There'll be probably like 1 to 2 per month on the site of sort of evergreen strategy pieces that I'll mix in. And I'll also be doing some freelance Dynasty content for The Athletic this fall. So you can
Nice.
see me there.
Awesome.
Very good. Pat?
Wow, paywall,
Trim the hedges.
paywall Jacob, they're calling him.
Trim the hedges, then what for you today, Pat?
I'm going to be writing up the walkthrough, which will be out Friday morning. Steph's waiver wire article is out now. If you want to get ready for your first waiver wire runs, the preseason waiver wire run on FFPC. We will have Matt Irby's going to be doing the Thursday night and Friday night games this week with the quick slant. And then back for the Monday night or the Sunday night game as well. I think I'm probably doing the Monday night game right up this week. I'll do like a mini walkthrough on that. Podcast with Davis, Neil Squirrel Patrol over on 4for4 on Friday, DFS pod. And then not officially announced yet, but going to be doing another pod on Friday with our buddy Reeves. And we're going to be talking through the game by game preview stuff. So that'll be a fun addition. Official announcement on that to come soon. But yeah, and then Shipcast. Join us for the late window on Sundays.
Sounds like everybody will be busy. I've got my WGR show in Buffalo, which you can watch on YouTube and Twitch, by the way, 3 to 7 weekdays Eastern. Tuesdays today, Ross Tucker is on every week. And, you know, lots of great guests. Focus on the Bills, who host the Ravens Sunday night. Shouldn't be boring. It has been a pleasure. This season, again, we'll be back first Tuesday of each month going through the NFL season as a group. Stat Chasing takes our slot, although it'll be Tuesday nights. And that, again, starting next week, free and available for YouTube members. Otherwise, it'll go public on Wednesdays. Guys, I've had so much fun. We'll keep it going in about a month, and then we'll see each other in the streets. Thanks for watching.
Hang on, I got to get this thing up. All right. Later.